Hi, this is Dr. Swanberg, and I'm here to talk to you about Week 14. Week 14 you're going to love. It is another fantastic opportunity to improve your grades. The first thing you'll see is a Proctoru Readiness Quiz. And I'm going to go over this with you just in case. I want you to get all good answers. This says, please upload a screenshot showing your scheduled appointment time for your exam in Proctoru. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about there, please go back to the announcement on what the deal is with Proctoru and your exam. And then it says, please upload a screenshot showing that you have successfully tested your equipment with Proctoru and are ready to test. They have an area on their website where you can test your equipment ahead of time to make sure that you have what you need. And if you don't, you have a little bit of time to solve those problems. So I want that taken care of this week, not next week. Please upload a screenshot of a reminder that you have set on your smartphone or computer to remind you of your test time with Proctoru. Now, I know this is a little micromanaging here, but I've had any number of students say, I just forgot my exam time. And that just really can't happen. I know it's different when everybody's setting their own instead of following a set exam schedule that the college publishes. So I am going to push you to make that reminder on your phone, and you can just take a little screenshot for that. I understand that I will need a computer that is not a Chromebook, tablet, or smartphone to take this test, that I will need a quiet and private place to test, that I need a strong internet connection, and that I need a webcam and microphone to test with Proctoru. So make sure that you have those things available to you. And if not, spend the week figuring out how to get them, okay? I wish I could provide you with those things, but I don't have extra computers or webcams or any of that. These were things that we learned that we needed way back here in the Start Here Week 1 menu. So let's make sure that we are following through with that here in Week 14. So there's that Proctoru Readiness Quiz. Most of you are just going to sail through that, no problem. There is an end of the semester preview here, and I'm going to talk to you about this. You will have several things to do this week and in Week 15. This week is an amnesty week. That's your second amnesty week. Students may go back and revise one essay, reflective or evaluative, of your choosing for a higher grade. This is encouraged but not required. If you already have an A, I wouldn't bother. If you're happy with a B, you don't have to do it. If you're happy with a C, you don't have to do it. Don't be happy with a D. Push. If you got a D on a paper, this is your chance to bring that grade up. Week 15, that's coming up next week. Students will all students, and this is required, all students will upload a revised research essay into the revised research essay exam space in Blackboard, and that's in the exams module, and I'll show you that in a moment. Please make sure you've looked at your feedback on the research essay, and I'm going to have a quiz in Week 15 with just one question in it, and it's going to be for you to screenshot your feedback from me, so that I can see that you saw your feedback on that research essay. If you are satisfied with your grade, you do not need to revise, but I do strongly urge any student who did not earn an A to work toward that goal. However, whether you are revising or not, you need to upload your research essay into the space called Revised Research Essay Exam. So even if you got an A on it the first time, you're going to have to also put it in this exam space. It's required by our department as one of our 2 exams in this course. All right, Week 15 required. Students will have an assignment to upload a screenshot of the verification page showing that you completed your student evaluations. There's also a link to your student evaluation. So you'll have a link, and then you can upload a screenshot just showing that you completed it. Please don't screenshot your actual evaluation. That is private. That's just for you. Week 15, optional. That's next week. This is week 15. This is week 15, optional. Students will have an assignment to upload a screenshot showing they have registered for summer semester. And while I cannot require this, I will give you an extra 10 out of a 10 homework grade. Anyone else just won't have anything input in there. I'm not going to put a 0 in there for you. If you don't do your student evaluations, I'm going to give you a 0 on that, though. So make sure that you get that those student evaluations completed. This is optional. So you can see that I'm saying, you know, when things are optional and when they're required. And then exam week, which is required. During your exam time, students will complete an essay in a timed environment. You will type the essay in the Blackboard workspace while in Proctoru. Yours should say Proctoru. Let me edit that right here. While online with Proctoru. All right, there, that's correct. Online students must be proctored by Proctoru. Virtual students will be proctored in class during their scheduled time. So y'all are in online class, and that means that you are taking yours with Proctoru. My virtual students will be proctored by me because they aren't charged that extra fee for using Proctoru. Y'all are charged that extra fee for Proctoru, and you will be using it. Okay. So let me close out of this and kind of show you around a little bit, okay? So week 14, I'm going to make visible right now so you can take a look at that. And then week 15 has a link to complete your student evaluations and the homework assignment or quiz. I don't know if it's a homework assignment or a quiz, but either way, you get a free grade for it. Uploading the completion of student evaluations. Here's a link to our virtual advising center and a place where you can upload confirmation of your summer semester. You can see we did this last semester as well. So summer registration, and I'll change it here as well. Summer. Take some classes in the summer. Move forward in your degree. And you don't have to take a full load if you don't want to, but I definitely recommend moving forward in your degree. All right, our final exams. There's a revised research essay exam and the final exam. They're both here under the module final exams. So the revised research essay is required. How to study for an essay exam. There's a handout here, and I'll go over that. And then the final exam itself is here. And I'm going to go ahead and make that visible to you. And this one is protected by an access code that you need to have. Proctoru will provide you with that access code. Let's talk about how to study for an essay exam since that essay is coming up. I suggest that you Google topics for English essays. And you'll find hits like 100 topics for English essays and things like that. I want you to write down a bunch of topics. Include ones you don't like very much because there's absolutely no guaranteeing that you're going to like any of the choices that you're given. Just it's time to put on those big kid pants and deal with the fact that you might not like the topics very much. And it's good to practice that. It's good to practice getting a topic that you're not expecting. So just write a bunch of them, put the topics in a bowl, mix them up, and pick one at random, and set a timer for 10 minutes. In those 10 minutes, practice writing one paragraph from that essay. Mix it up. Try a thesis paragraph one day, a body paragraph another day, a concluding paragraph another day. You can also practice writing a quick outline in 10 minutes, so you plan out what would be in this hypothetical essay, and then don't write the whole essay. Just use those 10 minutes to either practice writing an outline or practice the one paragraph unit. So here's the concept behind this. First of all, it does have you practice writing under time pressure, which is something a lot of us don't enjoy doing any more than we enjoy, say, push-ups. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. Another piece of the concept is that it has you practice being tossed a topic and having to deal with it quickly. So that's something we want to practice every day. And then the concept, the biggest concept, is that if you can plan an essay in 10 minutes, and you can draft a paragraph in 10 minutes. You can have a draft of a whole essay in about an hour, give or take a little bit of time for freaking out and reading the questions and deciding and stuff like that. And then have an hour or a little under an hour remaining to work on developing detail, making sure you've got at least 10 sentences in each paragraph, work on development, getting it up over that 750 word minimum, organizing, making sure you've got strong topic sentences and you're remembering the jobs of thesis and concluding paragraphs, and editing. The other thing you might do is actually memorize those jobs of the different paragraphs that we covered in week 4, and make sure that you know and understand those jobs, and then remember how to execute them. So that's some information. That's all your final exams. The revised research essay final exam is required for everyone. If you got an A on your research essay, simply upload it again here. If you got a B, take that feedback that was offered to you and put that feedback to use and see if you can turn yours into an A, and then upload it here. If this exam is indeed better than what you turned in week 11, because that was when our research essay was due, then I will go back in the grade book and override that earlier grade with your higher grade. So this is an opportunity to get a higher grade on both things. Now, that is not part of this week. All of that stuff happens in exam week and week 15. So I'm actually going to, now that I've showed you this, I'm going to close it again because it's not something that you need right now. But I might put this, how to study, I'm going to put this right up here in week 14 so that you can study for it starting now. Okay, so we have that how to study for an essay exam here. And then there is a little end of the semester quiz. And I'm going to preview that for you. Online students are required to take a final exam. I'm required to upload a revised copy of my research essay. I'm required to complete my student evaluations. So those are just real quick things saying that you've watched this video, really. You've read that preview for what the end of the semester, you've read that end of the semester preview and you understand it. And let's talk about Amnesty Week this week. Let's just double check on this. This is your second Amnesty Week where you can turn things in that you have missed. You may complete as many missed quizzes as you need to. You may complete up to 3 missed discussion boards, but you must email me to tell me which week's discussion boards you completed late. Generally, it's not worth the effort to try to move discussion board grades from a 5 to a 7 because they only move to a 7. This is late work. Late work is capped at 70%, so that's really only 2 points in a category that's only worth about 10% of your grade. You would get a lot more bang for your buck in terms of improving your grade to look at the reflective essay and the evaluative essay and try to make sure that those are really good. You'd get more points to your overall average doing that than tinkering with the discussion boards where you forgot to respond to peers. However, if you do those, if you do have a 0 in the discussion board, definitely take care of that. It does remind you to please be sure to engage with your peers' responses and make sure you've responded to your peers, or you'll only move from a 0 to a 5. Now that's 5 points you wouldn't have had before, but if you're gonna do it, do the whole assignment, please, to get that passing grade. So you may complete up to 3 missed homework assignments for a late grade, again capped at 7. If you got a 5, probably not worth it to revise it at this point for a 7, but of course I will grade anything you turn in. You may revise either your reflective or evaluative essay for a higher grade. You may complete either reflective or evaluative essay if it was late for a late grade. Okay, so again, that's capped at 70. If you turn one in on time, you get the opportunity to revise it for a higher grade, and that's really exciting. I will remind you that an A is an A, and it doesn't get higher than an A, so if you already have an A, just take the money and run. All right. All students will be asked to revise their research essays for next week. Do not make this a priority this week. Let's budget our time. If you already have an A average, then you mostly have a week off. That's pretty exciting for those of you with A's right now. Please complete these assignments in their original assignment spaces. Double check, please, that your work has successfully submitted. And you can do that by looking in the grade book and trying to open the work and see if you can see it. Okay? I have had students think they submitted, but their internet had timed out and it didn't submit and it didn't save. To that end, if you are doing a good deal of work all at once, please make sure you are doing it somewhere where you can save it in case Blackboard has a malfunction or in case your internet goes out when you submit or something like that. Make sure you're saving your work maybe to the Google Documents drive or to a cloud drive or a thumb drive on your or to your computer. All right. So that is Amnesty Week. There's that end of the semester preview, the Amnesty Week information, the Proctoru readiness quiz this week. And I do want you just 10 minutes a day to study for that exit exam. You would not believe the improvement you can make if you practice that 10-minute unit. So I want to encourage everybody to do that. We do have the exam coming up. I am going to also take a moment to remind you of what's in the announcements here. There's the Proctoru sign-up information. Our exam is available between April 24th at midnight. That's actually the beginning of week 15 until May 5th, and that's Wednesday of exam week. And I asked you to sign up for this in week 13. So if you haven't done that, you are late. So I will post additional information about the exam in week 14 and 15, which I've done. And your exam is called, this will be different for each group, so I'm not going to read this out loud. Yours might not be called this if you're watching this video in 20594. Yours will be, but look for this section number, and it should match the section number at the top of your Blackboard course. Okay, so right now I'm recording this from inside 20567, but I also teach a 20581 and a 20594 and a 102, and so make sure you're looking carefully for the correct section number. This should match what you see at the top of your Blackboard class. See right up here at the top of your Blackboard class, it says that number. It should match. Okay. And then there's just some reminders from the week 1 information. If you do need to talk to me about Proctoru or a problem you foresee with Proctoru, especially if you had a problem with it on the midterm, please reach out to me early in week 14 so that we can address those issues before the beginning of the exam period. I have set it to end on May 5th. That is a Wednesday during exam week, and that gives us Thursday and Friday with me still at work if you have a crisis on the 5th, so that you can fix that problem before I leave for the week. So that's why it ends on Wednesday, because on our midterm we had people who missed the deadline because they put it off till the weekend and I was not around to help them. So this time when the deadline hits, I will be around to help you, and I think that is better for everyone. All right, this has been a bit of a long video. Please make sure you are reading your announcements. They are over here. Please make sure you are going to the weekly assignments and taking care of everything in that week 14. Again, you have that Amnesty Week coming up in week 14. I will grade everything that you turn in. I will remind you, however, that April 22nd of week 14 is the withdrawal deadline. And if you are not going to be able to realistically finish the course, it is time to think about that withdrawal on the 22nd. If you have questions about whether you should stay in the course or withdraw, please contact me and talk to me before you withdraw. There might be a way to fix it. There might be something we can do. There might not be, but it certainly would be better to talk to me about it than to just disappear. All right. Reach out to me by email if you need my help this week.